Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to Mary's little house. Peanut's already asleep before I start talking on my lap here. I'm so glad you came. Today is my mother's birthday. She is 92 years old. She still lives at home. My siblings take really good watch over her. She's independent, but they're one of our ones always around are and in touch with my mother. I'm the oldest of 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls. One of our brothers already made his way, his journey, completed his journey here on earth and made his way to heaven. My brother Joseph Albert. My father, he'll be with my dad in heaven and my grandparents on both sides. I am so grateful to celebrate with you my mother's birthday because it gives me a chance to celebrate womanhood and what every woman is, a mother, be biological or spiritual motherhood. For me, the greatest creation on God's earth is women. And the greatest way those women show their femininity, their beauty, is in their love. Spousal love and parental love, mother love. I am so happy to celebrate. Thank God, on my mother's birthday, I thank God for letting me have such a wonderful mother. She not only gave me life by conceiving me and carrying me for 9 months in her womb and giving me birth at St. Mary's Hospital in Kansas City, Missouri, but she made me love life. She made me love life because she loved life. I heard an obstetrician, a woman obstetrician, talk about that 18 inches between the baby nursing and the mother's eyes, and that it was necessary for the baby's well-being, for the baby thriving, for the baby life, to have life and trust in life, that the baby, as the mother was nursing or feeding the baby close to her bosom, that the mother had to have a light in her eyes. She called it a light. And the baby would watch those eyes to see affirmation, to see love, to see joy, to see all that the baby needed to thrive, to grow, to embrace his or her life. I'm the oldest of 8, so I got a front row seat to see Mom nurse the other kids. It was so beautiful. It was like the little baby was staring at her and she was enjoying the baby and talking to it and everything too. And sometimes there were just precious moments, just her and the baby, almost sacred and almost too much to watch. So beautiful. So Mom had that light in her eye, not only for us nursing babies, but for us when we were growing up at every phase. I remember when one of my little brothers, I won't name his name, he'll kill me, but he would come in, he was about 2 years old, or maybe walking anyway, barely walking, and he would come in while we were having breakfast, getting ready for school, and he in his pajamas and dragging his little blanket, and he would stand at the kitchen door while Mom was getting us breakfast, and he would be ready to be on the verge of tears, and a little grumpy looking, but not. He just was ready to cry for no reason, and Mom would say hello, hello, naming the baby. I won't say it, my brother would kill me. But she would name the little one, and how are you doing? Good morning, it's so nice to see you. Want some cocoa toast? And she would, from the almost crying expression, the babies, my baby brother would a smile would appear on his face, and he would be right in the drag his little blanket and come over and be with us at the breakfast table. So she charmed us to life. Her eyes were full of life, and they still are today at 92. She loves us. We know when she looks at us, she loves us. And that's that certain gift that mothers have. There's something so beautiful and precious in a mother's look at her children. But not only that, she loved beauty wherever it was. She made to do, and the little kids at church and other kids, not just us kids, her own kids, but other kids. And she would say, oh, they're darling. She used the word darling so much, or the equivalent. She didn't wear it out. It was always fresh and always new, always so ingratiating and uplifting and precious. She made us feel very precious and darling. And others too, the other kids too. I always admired her for that, and I think some of that rubbed off on me because I just can't believe the beauty of children and how precious they are. Just in their innocence and goodness, and and I think that some of that came from my mother. I inherited from her. Okay, now other things that she did for us. My mother's a convert. She, her family was devout, and they would send her to the church. My grandfather was a truck driver, and sometimes they had to move with the job and everything, but they would always make sure the kids would go to church. So Mom was very ecumenical on the Protestant side, and had a lot of experience in different churches. And before Vatican II, we sang in church, but Catholics sang real subdued more, and Protestants seemed to sing more loud and more full-throated. So when we would go to church with Mom, we would want to move down the pew from her and not claim her as our mom because she sang so loud. And us Catholics were singing sort of careful and sort of quietly, but my mother would sing full-throated, the Tantum Ergo, all those Latin things she had to learn. And some of us said, "Oh, Mom, she sings so loud." We didn't want to, especially when we were a little bit older and teenagers and stuff. But that was she was a happy Catholic. And this convert mom of ours sent us all to Catholic grade school, and most of us went to Catholic high school and colleges. But she, 1 year when we were in Assumption grade school, she was voted the Catholic Mother of the Year. She was a convert, but she just fitted right in. And Mom had to fit into an Irish culture, an Irish family, coming from her Protestant background. My grandmother stayed with us. She lived with us. So Mom not only took care of Dad and us 8, but my grandmother too. And my grandmother was always sitting in the chair when we would come in from school, and she was saying her beads. And she'd sit there all day. So she saw in the front room, Mom, who's usually in the kitchen and going through and all that room, the front room. And she saw everything going on. And you know what? From different backgrounds, I always admired this later on, how my mother and my grandmother got along, even though they were so different in their cultures and background. And this Mom made it happen. And my grandmother too was very wise and prudent and tried to stay out of things. But Mom was very, and she was very popular with the people that would come and visit and talk about the things of the parish and things of the neighborhood. She was very affable and very kind to everyone. Even today, she still mothers us. She's still concerned about us. She's helped me out in some really big difficulties very generously. As she watches out for all us kids and worries about us and everything, just like she did when we were home. But she's still a wonderful mom, and she one thing too, another very wonderful thing, when she was getting her convert lessons from Father Lyons at Assumption Parish. My dad was the youngest of these boys, and he was the last to get married. I think the last, at least of the boys anyway, of his brothers. And Father Lyons had a great devotion to Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus. So while he was giving instructions to Mom to become a Catholic, he talked about Saint Teresa and her little way. And I learned about Saint Teresa from my mother's knee. She's a convert. Here she's teaching me about Saint Teresa, the Child Jesus, and so my devotion and love for Saint Teresa goes way back to when I was really little, and she told me how to do little things with great love. My mother, the little way of spiritual childhood. So mom not only gave us life, she gave us faith. She nurtured our Catholic faith. She gave us a zest for life and a joy in seeing goodness and beauty. And she was for me the epitome of the beauty of womanhood. Not only she was a beautiful and is still a lovely woman in beauty from without, but especially beauty within. She just loved life, and she loved it, was interested in things, interested in TV shows, interested in life, the details of life. Yet she never lost a sense of God and a sense of a love for her family, a love for the church. She loved the priests up there and visited with them after Mass and everything, and they knew her, and she was always very devoted to the priests. Our pastors and associates. Well, that's what I want to celebrate with you, my mother. But I'm celebrating not only Mom on her birthday, but all women. But women who are all mothers, either biologically or spiritual. And you're so beautiful. And you're the greatest and the most beautiful creation that God has made. More than the mountains and Grand Canyon and the sunsets, all of those are beautiful and breathtaking. But you women, you mothers, and my mom are the most beautiful of God's creations that God created. God bless you now. Good night.